Okay, so I thought I'd just quickly go over how to use this stud spot welder to pull a dent out of the hood. Now, I've already put the studs in, so sorry you're not going to get to see that part of the process. But basically what you do is, I figured out roughly where the center of the dent was, where the center of the dent was in terms of how deep and how high it was. And put a stud in the center of that. Then just basically put a spiral of them around it. And I ended up adding this one because I've already went through one round of pulling the dent. But basically what you end up doing is you start at the edge, you work your way around, and then go to the center. Check it, with your measure to see how bad it is still, and then work your way around again. And when you're done, they say that you take a pair of diagonal cutters and you cut these off, but I found that you could just twist them off and there's actually less of a stud or a stub left, and you can actually reuse them after that, at least for a couple of times too. So anyways, I've pulled it somewhat, and you'll see that at least for the bottom here, it's kind of hard to get at it, but that's closed up just a little bit. You can't see it that dramatically, but towards the center of it here, it's closed up as well. It's not a 1/4 inch like it was before. It's probably down to a little more than 1/8 of an inch. And up here at the top, it's still a little bit. I probably could add a stud along here as well to pull on that. But that spot should come up as well when these come up. So anyways, now for pulling the dent, it comes with this unit here, which is just basically a slide hammer with a little collet in here, and it clamps onto the stud, and you slam it backwards to pull the stud. Now, I don't really have any real insight to this because I'll admit, I don't do this for a living. But it's pretty straightforward. Get a feel for it if you buy one of these things, and try on some spare panels in that first. Okay, so I'm just kind of resuming from where I left off here, and I just went and I tried to pull the bottom 2 pins, and had one pop out on me. I think that just looking at the the ruler that I'm using, that whole edge needs to come out a fair bit, and I think that's probably a big part of the problem with this dent especially. So I'm going to add a couple of pins. I'm just inserting the pin into the end of the stud welder, and here's a bit of advice that somebody else who does know what they're talking about gave about these stud welders, and they said, press it against the surface and click the button like you're typing a button on your computer keyboard. Whoa, that was spectacular. Probably because I'm not getting the best contact because I'm not on a flat section there. So I'm going to add a couple more along here, and we'll see how it goes. But the idea being is that you're not trying to permanently weld them on. You're just trying to put them on just well enough that they'll pull the dent out, and that you can twist them off easily enough. And that whole idea was, it's literally just like that, click, is what I'm doing. And it seems to affix them well enough that, for the most part, they don't pull out. Okay, well, I'm going to go and pull on this dent a little bit more, and we'll see how this turns out.